A couple weeks ago, I made a video where I beat a game of backyard baseball on level 3 with no swing spot assist. I really liked the video. I think you guys will too. I'll put a link up for it right here real quick, just in case you want to take a peek at that. But after I made it, I kept thinking to myself, this video wasn't hard enough. I beat it too fast, too easy. I need to up the stakes a little bit. So what did I do? I pulled up a season mode, jacked up the difficulty to difficulty 5, the hardest possible difficulty in the game, turned off that swing assist, and told myself that I was going to win an entire season of backyard baseball. Let's see how it turned out. So obviously with any good team, you need a good team name. I settled on the Red Turtles. I've never seen a red turtle before, but I thought it sounded pretty cool. So we were going with Red Turtle. Then we had to make sure to set it for 1-inning games so that this wouldn't become a 3-hour-long video. Then I had to pick my team. Obviously, first off, I had to pick Pete. Then I picked Keisha. Annie. Annie's always a really good bat. Mr. Clanky for pitching. Sydney. Obviously, I had to get Ashley after that. Then I picked up Vicky for fielding and speed. Finished it out with Amir. I went ahead and set up my lineup. Got my batters ready to go. Started up my first game of the season. And let's just say the season didn't quite go the way I thought it would. It pretty much just consisted of me giving up nothing but home runs and losing a lot of games. I did get 1 run. Hey, I got 1 run. So overall for that season, I finished out 2-12, and I knew some changes had to be made. So I went ahead, I swapped out the Weber twins, and I picked up Ahmed and Ernie. And we were back in business. Our first game of the new season against the Hornets. A lot of our main early game strategy consists of having Pete try to bunt his way. As you can see here, he does strike out, then Annie flies out, and Pablo strikes out for the end of the first inning. Now this is where a lot of people struggle with this difficulty. You have to get the pitching down right. You have to be very good at defense to be able to win at difficulty 5, especially with no swing spot indicator. You basically have no offense whatsoever. So you have to get little outs where you can get them. So we got out of the bottom of the first inning with no damage done. So this is where one of my core strategies comes in. Because it's really hard to get runners on base, you get short inning games so that you start any inning after the first inning with a runner on second base. This allows you to get a lot more creative with how you move that runner over and makes it significantly easier to generate runs. And that's exactly what happened here. Pablo's going to be on second base to start out the second inning. Mr. Clanky's going to immediately move him over to third right here with a ground out to first base. And then one batter later, Ahmed's able to score Pablo. This was a weird one. I don't know what happened here. For some reason, the AI just refused to pick up the ball. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know if that's a glitch, but that happened. We had a 1-run lead going into the bottom of the second inning. We throw out the runner at first base, hold the runner at second. Next batter singles, but we're able to hold them at second still, so we're doing just fine. And then something else I was talking about that we see a lot, I'm not sure why it's coded this way, but when you have a pitcher in for more than 1 inning, they have a massive tendency to give up a lot more home runs, base hits. They just get knocked around a lot for some reason. So you want to be switching out your pitchers pretty much every inning. So we switch out for Amir right here. Amir's going to try and bring us home. And right here we get the out at second base and almost get the double play to end the game. But then Annie makes a diving stop right here, and we do win that first game of the season. We are 1-0 on the season now. The second game of the season is at our home stadium of choice, Tin Can Alley. I don't remember why I picked this as our home stadium, but that's what it is. Mr. Clanky's going to get us off to a nice little start here. Get 1 out at first base. And then Pete does tend to misjudge balls sometimes. I don't know if that's just how he's designed, but he does do that. But we're able to quickly get out of it with a nice play by Mr. Clanky right here. And then we jam them right here. But Keisha holds the runner at second, and we are just about out of this. Oh, never mind. Yeah, we do lose this game. We are now 1-1. Moving right along to the third game of the season, we're over at Sandy Flats now. Pete's able to accidentally execute our strategy perfectly with the best swinging bunt you'll ever see. And Pete being Pete, he's able to stretch it into a double pretty much without trying too hard. Annie then grounds out to first base, but it moves Pete over perfectly. Now we just need to move him over, and Pablo's going to do that right here with a nice little ground out to the pitcher. And that's kind of the symbol of my strategy right here. 3 straight ground balls to the pitcher, but because of our strategy of having Pete go first, and because of the way that we use him as a base runner, we're still able to bring a run home. Now, can we hold it, though? We're going to find out here. We got Mr. Clinky back on the hill, grounding out on the first pitch of the inning. Mr. Clinky's then able to get a strikeout on 3 straight pitches, and it's time to bring in the closer. We're bringing in Pablo this time. Pablo gets a ground out, and that's it. We are now 2-1. 2-1. And then a nice little look at the standings here. You can see that the Bombers are in first place in the division. We're going to have several head-to-head matchups with them throughout the course of this video. Okay, so update. We had a huge lightning storm come up, so I actually had to record this later. And yes, before all the comments start talking about it, I'll just address it. I did take my hat off. Our 4th game of the season, back over to Tin Can Alley. Pete completely missed a line drive over to left field, but then Amir was able to get a perfect double play, followed up by a good play by Annie to get us out of the inning, giving us a chance to walk it off right here. But then Pete struck out on 3 straight pitches, Annie grounded out to first, and Pablo lined out to center. Bringing in Amir for the 2nd inning, he was able to get a quick ground out to first base. Annie made a diving play, almost did it, but they did score. With our backs against the wall, Pablo made a clutch play right there, running from 2nd to 3rd on a pop-up to the catcher. Ahmed couldn't score him, though. It was going to be up to Amir with 2 outs. Could Amir bring home the tying run? No. And we did lose the game, making us 2-2. Staying right at Tin Can Alley, we moved right on to the next game. Mr. Clinky did give up a base hit to the first runner. Then he gave up another base hit to the second runner, but we were able to get the out at second. Then Annie completely fell down, and everyone is safe. Pete's able to get the force out at third, and we're almost out of the inning. And then we are out of the inning. Pete struck out. Annie struck out. Pablo laced a base hit to right field. But Mr. Clinky's not able to do anything with it. We're going to extra innings in this game. Great play by Mr. Clinky in the top of the 2nd. He's able to both get the out at first base and keep the runner from moving to 3rd. We then bring in Pablo to shut everyone down. He gives up a base hit, but he's able to get an easy ground out to end the inning right after that. We need Mr. Clinky to get over to 3rd base. He's able to on the ground out by Amir. And then in an act of desperation, Mr. Clinky makes a break for the plate, and he is safe! We win. We are now 3-2 on season. With a 3-2 record, we're staying right back at Tin Can Alley. Leaving Pablo on the mound, he finished things out really nicely last game. He does give up a single on the first batter. Then he gives up another single on the second batter, but once again, we're able to get the force out of second. Okay, I have to pause for a second. Backyard Baseball, if you're watching this video, which obviously you are, please, 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 fix the bug. I don't know if it's a bug. I don't know if it's a coding thing. I don't know what is causing it. But please fix the runner from first to second pausing for so long when they're running to second on an obvious base hit or ground ball. It's killing the game. It makes fielding too easy. Please fix this. And he makes another error over at 3rd base, and we've got runners on 1st and 2nd. But then once again, we're able to get the trail runner at 2nd base. We were able to get out of the inning, though, without any damage being done with a ground out to Pablo. In our half of the inning, Pete's able to get on first with a good bunt, and he's able to almost move him over. Doesn't quite, though. Then it's up to Mr. Clinky to move the runners, and he's not able to. But what Mr. Clinky is good at doing is getting outs. He's actually very good at that. I'm just kidding. In this play, he doesn't actually get any outs. In fact, I don't know what I was doing. I was completely asleep at the wheel right there, and we do give up the run. And I'll show you the highlights, but let's just say it got really ugly from there. So yeah, we lost 4-0 in that one. We're moving to a different game. Forget that one ever happened. Next game's over at Steel Stadium. Pete's able to execute our strategy of bunting to first perfectly. Then Annie's able to execute and move Pete over to 2nd base, where he immediately just takes off for 3rd, and he's able to get in there. Then Pablo does everything he needed to do, just put the ball in play, and Pete handles the rest of it. I'm not really sure what happened there. I think I just misclicked and Keisha put it to the wrong direction, but it doesn't really matter because Keisha made up for it immediately with a diving play, followed up by an easy line out, and we had our win right there. Taking a quick peek at the standings, we are now 4-3 on the season, 1 game out of first place. This was doable. We could do this. This was my second attempt. We can do this. With a 4-3 record, our next game was at the Super Colossal Dome. Pete might have caved under the pressure because he immediately struck out. Annie then lined out, really good contact, wrong place, and then Pablo strikes out swinging. Our back's against the wall, we gotta get some outs right here. Annie does a really good job getting that first out. Pablo makes a dive, he's not quite able to get there. The throw's just late. But Pablo makes up for it with a perfect double play. We're out of the inning, on to the second. Mr. Klinke strikes out. Ahmed makes a horrible contact. Honestly, it would have been better if he just missed the ball completely. And then Amir strikes out. We're going to the bottom of the second. Great play by Keisha and Ernie right here. Getting the out, keeping the runner at second. Strong throw by Annie, keeps that runner at second. Amir with the out. We're going to the top of the third inning. Keisha strikes out, just like she does almost every single time in this video. And we're once again not able to score a run. Going to the bottom of the third. The runner from second does go to third safely on this play, but we're able to hold them at bay with some good plays by Pablo. Oh, actually 2 plays by Pablo. Look at that. 2 good plays by Pablo in that inning. Then Pete's able to successfully bunt over. Vicky's safe at third base. Annie puts the ball in play. That's all she really had to do. And then here, I'll stop it for a second right here. I found out through this game, and this is another bug that they should probably try to patch a little bit. If you have a player going from first to second, at the same time a runner's going from third to home, when the throw comes into the second baseman, instead of staying on second base to record the out, they actually step off of the bag to try and immediately make the throw home. You're going to see this play out. They get neither. And this is actually something I can exploit many times in this video. I'll let it play out again. So, you had the runner from first to second go, and then immediately after that, had the runner go from third to home. It works every single time. Pablo's able to bunt Pete from first to second, and then Mr. Klinke also lays down a perfect bunt. Good sacrifice by him. Pete's going home, and Pete is in there! 2-0 for the Red Turtles. On our half of the inning, all we had to do was shut them down completely, and we won. Unfortunately, though, we did give up a run almost immediately, but you know, that we still got 1 run to play with. Still got 1 run. We're still up by 1. You know, we're okay. We're okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, so we somehow lost that game. And we're now 4-4. Yeah, 4-4 on the season. And we're actually in a big pickle right now. I have to go on a winning streak. And it has to start right now. Our next game's at Tin Can Alley. This game starts off well with a ground out to Mr. Klinke at second base. Then we get another technically ground out to the right fielder. Amir's not able to really make the play, but it doesn't really matter because we are able to get out of the inning. Our turn to bat with a chance to walk this one off and get that losing streak back in order. Pete does his thing, puts the ball in play, immediately makes to first base. Annie does her thing, puts the ball in play. Pete's able to get to second. For some reason, they throw to first, even though Annie was literally on the bag. And we're able to convert that into Pete going the whole way around the bases for a walk-off win. We're 5-4 on the season now. And we're actually only 1 game back of the playoffs, but there's 2 teams we have to beat to get there. It's not easy. Staying right at Tin Can Alley, our home for this season, we try and keep the winning streak going. Annie gets us off to a good start with a strong throw from third base. Highly recommend Annie as a third baseman. Mr. Klinke gets the job done. And then unfortunately, Kenny just has no power in that wheelchair, so he just grounds out. Pete does strike out to start things out. Annie lines one over to left field. We do have a runner on base now. Winning run is on first. Then Pablo puts it in play, and he almost grounds into a double play, but he doesn't, thank goodness. On their half of the inning, their first batter lines one over. We almost gave up the go-ahead run on the first pitch of the inning. But thank goodness for us, Kenny actually does not have good wheels, and he's not able to score. Line out to Pete, and we now have 2 outs, and Mr. Klinke's he's not quite able to get the job done. But he strikes out the next batter, and we're out of the inning. On our half of the bottom of the second, Ahmed strikes out, Amir lines out to second base, and then Keisha actually does her first helpful thing in the video. It's amazing. She basically bunts it to first base. But what really works here is that strat I was telling you about, where even though all they have to do to keep the run from scoring is tag out Keisha, the second baseman is actually going to step in front of second base to try and record the out here. And this is kind of what I was saying. You can exploit this a little bit. We're now 6-4 on the season, but we're still a game back of both teams that we need to get in front of. Moving over to our next game at Cement Gardens, we got to really try and keep this win streak going if we want a chance at the playoffs. Pete doesn't start us off well. You know how the drill. He either bunts it or he strikes out, and he did strike out there. A couple quick outs later, we were in the bottom of the first inning trying to hold a scoreless frame. Ronnie apparently actually has some power in this game because he lines one off the right field wall. Annie, still a dependable third baseman, gets a strong out. Then Mr. Clanky records a ground out. And then we're able to full get out of the inning off another play by Annie. Top of the second inning, we're just trying to move Pablo over. And we're going to use every exploit in the book to do that. Look at the second baseman just immediately stepping in front of the bag. That's so exploitable, Chad. I don't even care what happens in the rest of the game. We're just going to fast forward through it. You guys already know what happened. I bet you guys thought that they were going to tie the game right there, didn't you? We then execute the first ever unsuccessful unintentional walk in this game. Like, we were trying to put that kid on first base, and they ended up tying the game off of it. Obviously, Mr. Clanky was the problem there, so we got to bring in Pablo to get him out. We're able to move Keisha from second to third right here. And then in a trick play, Keisha's going for home, and she's somehow in there. I can't lie, guys. I thought the throw beat her there, but I'll take it. We have the lead. In their half of the inning, they almost grabbed the lead immediately again, but we were able to hold them off, and then Ronnie tries the sac fly. Ronnie's got some power in this game, I'm telling you guys. Like, he should not be able to hit it off the wall that consistently. They've tied it up again. And now we're trying to keep them from walking it off on us. We are able to block the walk-off, thank goodness. And we're heading to the top of the fourth. Annie's able to move over Pete. The first baseman dropped the ball. Everyone is safe. Annie's actually going to get to third out of this. And Pete has successfully gone home. We now have a 3-2 lead going into the bottom of the fourth inning. We have to try and hold this. Good play by Annie. Ernie's not quite able to get the throw off to keep them at second base, and the runner does move over. We've got to try and keep that runner at third base. And for some reason, Mr. Clanky moved, and the runner is somehow able to score. Oh my goodness. This game was actually a catastrophe on defense for us. But it's okay, though, because we have a weird exploit in this game that we're able to exfoliate yet again to get yet another run. Like, it's actually criminal that we're able to keep doing this to them. Just for insurance purposes, I did have Ernie ground home Amir, so now we had a 2-run cushion. Ronnie can't power hit his way out of this one. Then Pablo makes a nice play to get a second out, and then Ernie's able to finish off the game. I'm just kidding, he doesn't actually. Amir falls down. And then Ernie's able to finish off the game with another out right here. We are right in the playoff hunt yet again. The Giants actually lost their game this time. So now we only have one team to beat, the Melonheads, and we have a game against them coming up. Going back home to Tin Can Alley, we have a chance to get another win and try and secure that second place finish. And this game started out with a bang with Vicky making an amazing diving catch in center field. You can tell this team really wants this. Mr. Clanky does give up a single right there. And then we technically give up another single, but because the runner doesn't break from first, we're able to make a really easy play to get us out of the inning. Pete strikes out, then Annie lines a single over to first base. We have a runner on. Pablo tries to bunt, but then Mr. Clanky strikes out swinging, and we get out of the inning without anything happening. In the top of the second, Mr. Clanky deals his second inning of pitching, which is not common in this game. And then, keeping with the theme, Mr. Clanky breaks for home off a routine ground ball to the pitcher, and he's able to score. What an individual performance by Mr. Clanky, giving us 2 innings of pitching and scoring the winning run. And chat, you're never going to believe what the standings say right here. They have us in not third place, not second place, but first place. Chat, look at this. We got a lead to keep now. We only got a couple games left in the regular season. We're moving on to Ekman Acres, trying to keep the win streak going. Pete's able to do his thing and successfully get on first. Annie does her thing and gets Pete over to second. Pete does his thing again and goes over to third. And then just for hoots and giggles, Pete tries to go home. He's not really able to do that though. But here's where I made a mental calculation, chat. Look how far off home plate the catcher is. Pete can beat that. Pete does beat. Look how fast this dude is. We've got the run. Now we just need to hold them. Ground ball to Annie, easy out. Pop fly to Annie, easy out. Pop fly to Annie again. Chat, we've got the win. With that win, we are still in firm control of first place. It is a 3-way tie, but we controlled the game. 1 game left. We have to hold them for 1 game, chat. We just have to win this game. Mr. Clanky does start us off bad, but then Amir makes a diving play to get us out of it. Pablo makes a good catch. Then Pablo makes a strong throw to second base, and he once again does the exploit, gets the out at second base. We're out of the inning. 1 inning to go. We just need 1 run. Pete gets on first, and he moves him over. You guys know the drill. Pablo moves him over. Pete's going home. They made a mistake. They should have held him at third base. And we win the game, chat. We are going to the playoffs on the hardest difficulty with no swing spot indicator. We are going to the playoffs. The rest is easy. All we have to do is win the playoffs now. Pete doesn't even think about first base. Immediately going for second. The cojones on this man. It's all for Moot though, because a couple strikeouts later and a pop out from Mr. Clanky, nothing happens that inning. The bottom of the inning starts out nice though. We are able to get an out, and then Amir gets a double play to get us out of the inning. We're in a good spot. Ahmed almost gets his biggest hit of the game with a line out to first base, but Mr. Clanky is able to move over to third base as a result. And then Amir, clutch Amir, scoring Mr. Clanky for the winning run. Well, actually, it was only the top of the inning, so I'm just going to skip ahead to the end. You guys are going to see what happened. Yeah, so we ended up winning that game. Now we just need to win 1 more game, and we have won the playoffs. 1 more game. Pete does strike out. Then Annie lines out to left field. Good contact. Pablo gets a base hit to right field. We're in business. We've got a chance to make something happen. But Mr. Clanky does strike out. Nice defensive plays by Pete right here, getting the out and keeping the runner at first base. Then Mr. Clanky with a double play to get us out of the first inning. We're on to the second. Ahmed moves Mr. Clanky over from second to third, and then Mr. Clanky goes for it all. And he's in there, as he's done so many times in this video. Mr. Clanky successfully runs from third to home, making a great slide to get in there. Amir gets a nice base hit to first base, and then Ernie's able to move over Amir. The center fielder drops the ball. Amir's able to go to third. And then chat, you guys already know about this exploit. We're going to have Ernie go to second. The second baseman's going to step off the bag, even though all she has to do is tag out Ernie. And we have our insurance run. 1 inning to go. Amir's able to get the nice out at first right here on a line out. We have an insurance run to play with. Paulo gets the ground out to the pitcher. And then who do we have to close out this video? Who has earned it more than anyone else in this video? Who is more responsible than anyone else for this video? Obviously Pete. We couldn't have done this without our leadoff hitter, so we're bringing him in to close it out. And how does Pete reward us? By immediately giving up a base hit to the right field, which scores a run. You know, obviously. It has to be a close game. It has to be close. It's just the right way. But never fear, Pete is able to finish them off right here, getting a strong ground out to Annie. And chat, the first time that I know of that it's been done, you take a backyard baseball season, put it on 5-star difficulty, turn off the swing spot indicator, and play an entire season. We've officially won it. Thank you so much for watching. Tell me in the comments, what kind of video do you want to see next? I'll read it. I'll pay attention. I'm going to put a link to another one of my videos I think you guys will like. Please check it out. All right, have a good day.